All right. What's up, everybody? So, look, let's get right into it, man. So, the big news came out, right, about David Benavidez' next fight is going to be Anthony Yarde, which is a good fight, man. I like this fight more than Caleb Smith, as of course, that was kind of like the fight everybody was thinking was going to be next. And, I mean, I kept it real with y'all, bro. For me, Smith, I don't think he posed much of a challenge to David Benavidez. When you compare Anthony Yarde, I think Yarde, he's a bigger challenge than Smith, right? I'm really not trying to take anything away from Caleb Smith, right? He got a decent win over, he got a good win actually over Boatsy, undefeated Boatsy that was coming up, and he was looking pretty good. But Smith took him out, and then out of nowhere, he got a lot of people backing him and saying that, he was making a comeback or whatever. But me personally, bro, I just didn't see it like that. But of course, David Benavidez was going to either have to take on Caleb Smith or Anthony Yarde. And to me, who is the bigger threat? It's Anthony Yarde, bro. And this is why I like this fight, See, me, I like to see the best fights that could possibly be made, right? Like, you guys know me, man. I rock with David Benavidez. He's one of my favorite fighters. But I want to see him get challenged, bro. When he fought David Morrell, I liked that fight as well, right? And I was giving Morrell mad credit. I was telling you guys, like, hey, I don't think Benavidez is just going to run through Morrell the way a lot of people were thinking, But it was one hell of a fight, and this is what us as boxing fans should be looking for, So when Anthony Yarde got announced as David Benavidez' next opponent, I was happy, bro. I was like, hell yeah, Anthony Yarde will give David Benavidez a bigger fight, a better fight than Caleb Smith will, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I just think Anthony Yarde he's fought, Anthony Yarde took on Beterbiev. He did not take out Beterbiev. He took on Beterbiev. Beterbiev stopped him, but go back and watch that fight, man, and you'll see what kind of a fighter Anthony Yarde is. He was giving Beterbiev some problems. So this is a good measuring stick, bro. See, this is the way I see this shit, right? I'm looking at the bigger picture. You could kind of use Anthony Yarde as a measuring stick, as he's already fought Beterbiev. And he gave Beterbiev a good fight. But at the end, the power of Beterbiev was just too much for Anthony Yarde. So like I said, bro, I like this fight for a number of reasons. Mainly because I think this is a better fight than Caleb Smith versus David Benavidez. Now, let's talk about who wins here, right? Of course, David Benavidez, bro, all day. I don't really want to come out here and say it like this, but to me, in my opinion, bro, Anthony Yarde and Caleb Smith, they were both just stay busy fights for David Benavidez, and to me, that's what it is, right? But like I said, which is the better stay busy fight? It's Anthony Yarde, in my opinion. So, and I'm not saying that David Benavidez is just gonna come in here and run through Yarde. I think we're gonna be in for a good fight, man. Yarde should hold his own. Even maybe, we all know that Yarde's got some crazy power, so that's gonna be one thing to look for. But at the end of the day, bro, I just think, the Mexican monster, he's on a different level, and this is why everybody's fucking ducking him, But look, there's a lot of things going down with this shit, right? A lot of things that I'm seeing. Now that David Benavidez went over there to Riyadh, he signed with Riyadh Season for this fight, of course. They're going to be fighting over there in Saudi. It's got a lot of people talking, a lot of weird shit, right? Like, and I mean, I guess I understand why you guys do it, right? People are trying to bring up Canelo again, like saying like, oh yeah, now there's hope. David Benavidez and Canelo might fight. Look, man, I've been preaching this shit forever on my channel. And this is the thing about it, right? I've been preaching this shit forever, and I got a lot of haters on my channel, right? A lot of people that love talking shit on my comments. But the funny thing and what these people don't see is that I'm always right, bro. Like, I've been right about everything I said from day one. When I told y'all back then, hey, Canelo is never going to fight David Benavidez. You guys, a lot of people were talking shit to me, talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know shit about boxing, blah, blah, blah. There's no way Canelo is ducking David Benavidez. There's actually dumbass people to this day still saying that David Benavidez ducked Canelo, which is fucking crazy to me, right? But this is the thing that I kind of want you guys to see, right? Like, you guys could come in and leave all these lame ass comments, right? And talk all that nonsense. But at the end of the day, try to remember, bro, that I haven't been wrong about anything that I've been saying, right? Maybe you guys need to take a step back and analyze the big picture of things, right? When I come out here, yeah, you guys love to talk shit to me, but I come out here and I'm speaking truth, I'm speaking facts. You know, I've always told you guys one of my favorite sayings is time will reveal everything. And that's exactly what's happened, bro. Time has revealed everything. Everything that all these dumb motherfuckers were talking shit in my comments. You guys have been wrong about everything. About Canelo wanting to fight David Benavidez, bro. About Canelo not cherry picking, right? About David Benavidez truly not wanting to fight Canelo, where a lot of people are saying David Benavidez truly isn't going to take on the big fights when he's been trying to do this shit. And by now, bro, he's proven it to y'all that he is trying to take on the big fights. And just because he can't get the big fights, bro, that's not his fault, you know? So that's the only thing that I'm trying to say to y'all, right? You guys got to take a step back and maybe rethink a lot of the shit that you guys talk, because like I said, bro, I could come on here and I could talk my shit in a very confident way because I've been correct about a lot of shit that I've been saying. I've been calling this shit since day one. I haven't had to switch my narrative. I haven't had to come out here and fucking make up excuses, lies, and all that shit. Everything that I've been saying since day one has been spot on. Like when I've been telling y'all that Canelo is never going to fight David Benavidez. And to a lot of people that are still saying like, no, it's the other way around. David Benavidez doesn't want to fight Canelo. There's another interview now, right? And I'll probably look it up, bro. If I got some time, I'll probably look it up and I'll put it up on here. It's in Spanish, of course. But it's another interview, again, with Canelo saying, they're asking him like, hey, David Benavidez, I'm going to translate it. He says something like, David Benavidez has been looking for a fight with you. And then Canelo says, well, he could keep looking because it's never going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Canelo once again telling y'all like, hey, I'm not going to fight David Benavidez, you know? And he goes on to say something about, at this point in my career, why would I give another fighter the opportunity when he's just going to come in an extra 25 pounds heavier? Which, of course, it's a lie, bro. He's already done this shit. Berlanga rehydrates even more than David Benavidez, you know? But these are just excuses from Canelo. And you know, it is what it is, bro. You guys just gotta accept the fact that fucking that Canelo knows Canelo knows what kind of a threat David Benavidez is, and this is why he's not gonna fight him. So now that David Benavidez signed to Riyadh, a lot of people are saying like, oh yeah, this fight might happen, but it's not gonna happen, bro. People are thinking like this is gonna be Canelo's last fight as retirement fight, but it is not gonna happen because you guys don't think about the ego that is Canelo Alvarez, bro. This guy's ego will not let him take it to chance of him losing to somebody like David Benavidez. He is not going to want to pass the torch to David Benavidez, bro. Canelo hates David Benavidez, and he just absolutely doesn't even want to give him even the slightest chance to fight because think about it, bro. He knows that David Benavidez will probably beat him, bro. And it's a very, very high chance. And Canelo knows this shit, right? So this is why he's telling y'all, if you guys read between the lines, he's telling y'all, hey, you know what? The Mexican monster is too fucking big for me. And I've even told y'all this since day one, bro. Like, that's an okay excuse, right? Like, you know, but Canelo should just say this shit. Like, hey, bro, like, you know what? David Benavidez will probably beat me because he's too big. And I think people will respect him even more if he were to say some shit like that. Because, hey, I've said it in my past videos. I kind of agree, bro. Like, yes, David Benavidez might be too big for a fighter like Canelo Alvarez. You know what I'm saying? And as the time passes by, it's a harder challenge for Canelo. As David Benavidez is getting bigger, he's gotten bigger than when he was at 168. He's getting bigger, he's getting better, and he's just way more explosive, gaining a lot more experience and confidence, while Canelo is just declining at this point in his career. So this is why I'm so confident when I come out here and tell you guys that this fight is never going to happen, because of the ego that Canelo has, and he is not going to lose to David Benavidez, bro. And the only way that he is not going to lose to David Benavidez is by not fighting him, because if he fights David Benavidez, he knows that he's going to lose to him, right? So all of this talk about like, oh yeah, David Benavidez is with Riyadh now, and that there's a chance. I mean, for me, bro, I know what it is, and you guys could run with that shit or whatever. But just try to think about all this shit, right? And this is all the things that I think about when I make, all these predictions and say that no, there's no way that fight's not gonna happen, because I know how Canelo rolls, bro, and I know how he moves, and he's just not gonna let that shit happen. Now look, David Benavidez went to Riyadh because guess what, bro? He's gonna end up taking the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol. That's why he's over there, man. This is a stay busy fight. If he could get through Yarde, and then we're gonna see Beterbiev and Bivol happen. And see, this is the thing that I was thinking about, right? When is that Beterbiev and Bivol fight supposed to take place? In November, also, I think, man. So, what if they put David Benavidez and Yarde in the undercard or right beneath that Bivol and Beterbiev fight, and then they announce their fight right there and then, right in the ring, right, and face them off or whatever? This could be a very high possibility, right? So this is why I think this is the true reason why David Benavidez is over there in Riyadh, right? Because we all know that he's trying to get that damn fight. He was trying to get the Bivol fight. Bivol, not that he didn't want nothing to do with it, but he was tied up with that Beterbiev fight. So it only makes sense, right, when you think about this thing logically, that's why all of this shit is going down, because Benavidez is going to be looking to fight the winner of Beterbiev and Bivol. And, Canelo, bro, he's probably going to end up fighting somebody like fucking, I don't know, bro. Who could it be? What's his name? The guy that just won, bro. The guy that's at 160. Chris Eubank Jr., right? That's who Canelo's probably going to end up fighting. And then, just, I don't know, it's just a bunch of other lame fights, because this is what Canelo does, right? But, so those are my thoughts on all this shit, right? And like I said, as far as the fight of between Benavidez and Yarde, it's gonna be a good fight, man. It's not gonna be no cakewalk for David Benavidez, but I truly think that David Benavidez is gonna get the win against Anthony Yarde. I've even seen a lot of people already saying that David Benavidez is probably gonna stop him. I don't know if he stops Yarde. He might, because I've seen Yarde get stopped a couple of times. It would be a hell of a statement if David Benavidez stops him. So I think David Benavidez is going to try to go for the stoppage, right? And I've seen David Benavidez training, bro, and this guy looks fucking explosive, speedy, faster than ever, right? So it's going to be one hell of a fight, man. But yeah, we'll see what keeps happening with this shit, right? What announcements get made, the press conference, all that shit. We could look forward to a very good press conference. But, that's pretty much it from me, man. Let me know what you guys think about this fight. Go ahead and leave it down in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll be on to the next one, man. I'm out.